Michael, the fixtures always come when the fixtures come, but does it feel good to get straight back into it and have another game to go after the weekend?
Yeah, to be honest, it's irrelevant really. The weekend, it's about we got another game tomorrow. It's we're really looking forward to it. To be honest, we had a couple of days to digest what happened, but actually look forward to the game and try and make that next step really in terms of putting the performance and getting the rewards for all the good things.
So with the couple of days to digest, have you digested it in any different ways?
Nothing to what I've seen after the game. I thought we fully deserved to win the game, and I think within a performance, I think from my point of view as a coach, you judge it and you put, and as players, we're putting it, trying to put yourself in position and play the game in a way where you give yourself the best chances to win the game by creating opportunities, playing around their box, creating chances to score, and we're certainly doing that, and we're doing it very, very well. And that next little bit of obviously goals is massive. We know that's pretty obvious, and we just got to quite convert that, which we will. The boys will do that. So there's a mixed feeling of disappointed with the result, and not something that we're accepting, but definitely hugely encouraged by a lot of the football that's going on, and the fact that both ends of the pitch, to be honest, we've I think we've had the most shots in the league and conceded the fewest in the league. So both ends of the pitch, throughout the pitch, is really good. It's not proven to be at the moment in terms of results, but in terms of giving ourselves the best chance over a long period of time, I think we're doing a lot of good things.
You said that you don't want to have to keep saying the same things again, is what you said after Saturday. So what little things need to change so that you don't have to say the same things? I
actually think some people might think I'm crazy for saying this. I think the last two first halves of Watford and Bristol City, the performance-wise was a really good level, top level. I have to say, the way we played the game, the quality of the football. Didn't let them near our goal, and the two times we give the ball away, they've scored. Watford didn't have one shot at the time, so. In terms of me analysing it and knowing, giving us encouragement and belief, there's so many good things in the game. We've got to convert that.
You made the point as well. It's just it's difficult sometimes not to overreact, because you said a couple of weeks ago, after you go and win at West Brom and you have those two wins, everyone's saying, "Oh, great, everything's working now."
Yeah, that's football, and that's why we love it. For the opinions, for the talk, for the everyone getting caught up in the highs and the lows of football. That's fantastic. That's the game, and that's what attracts us to football. My position, I've got to be a little bit different and not get too carried away with the ups and downs, and take a bit more of a calculated approach. And as I said, that's why I'm encouraged. But for the underlying nature of the performance, but we need to pick up results. That's pretty obvious.
Sheffield United, I think everyone probably always thought they'd be in and around it. They've had a pretty good start. What have you made of it?
Yeah, they're a very, very good team at this level, with good players who know the league and have had success in the league, and Chris is a good manager who's assembled a really good squad. So I wouldn't say it's any surprises. I'd expect them to be up there challenging and be up there most of the season, and certainly around it towards the end. So yeah, we're in for a really tough game.
Obviously Chris is coming back. I mean, this happens, but can it add a bit of spice to an occasion when like an old manager or someone comes back?
I'm not approaching it any different. I don't think there's any need for that. I think it's what goes on the pitch, and the players will be fully prepared and ready for that. And there's always things that go on around games that we can't kind of control, whether it's players coming back, managers coming back, or something surrounding the game. For us, it's what's going on the pitch, and the boys are prepared for that, and they're definitely ready for it.
Hi Michael, Chris Wilder, obviously, as mentioned, his return at Riverside. He's been full of praise for you this morning. What would you make of him as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's done terrific. I think he's had really good levels of success, and as I said, getting out of this league's not easy, and he's done that. He's managed in the Premier League, and he's assembled a really good squad at the moment who started really well. So yeah, I've got a lot of respect for him. I've got a lot of respect for all managers, knowing the role and what it takes, and to anyone who has success in this league, I've got fully a lot of respect for.
You're obviously coming up against one of the best defences in the league. They've only conceded 5 so far this season. After the Bristol City game, your key message was that your side isn't scoring enough goals. What would you say is the biggest factor behind that? Is it more confidence with the players? Is it tactical? Or is it more just not having a look in front of goal?
Yeah, certainly not tactical, because I think if you're tactical, it means you're not creating chances, you know. So, and that's not just defending me. I think from the boys, in terms of tactically how they're playing the game, it's not that. It's that last little bit of converting it, and it comes with the boys, you know, the humans, you know, they make decisions and things go right sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't quite go to plan, but they're giving themselves a great chance, and the quality they have, the attitude, the way they're going about it, and the positivity, will be fine.
You're obviously unchanged from the defeat at Watford against Bristol City on Saturday. Given the results and the tight turnaround with this one, can you expect to delve deeper into your squad maybe?
Yeah, I don't think the result doesn't have any impact on us moving into the next game. I think that certainly doesn't. I think we don't accept losing, and we're disappointed with losing, but I think the result doesn't change things, as it didn't change things when we went to West Brom and won. It doesn't impact the next thing. It's us trying to be the best version of us, really. And, so listen, the team will be picked for different reasons, you know, whether it's freshness, whether it's a little change here and there. That's the decision we've made, but it's certainly not just on the back of a result on the weekend. And just on team news, is there any fresh injury concerns from the weekend? No, everyone's come through. Everyone's come through fine, which is great. And is Fry, Linehan, Howson any closer to making that return? Yeah, Johnny's in the group, which is good to have Johnny back. He's obviously our captain, so delighted with that. Dale's back with us as well. He needs a few minutes, you know, in terms of game time. So we'll have to look at that with Dale. But he's training really well. It's great to have him back as well.
Thank you,
Michael. Considering you had such a decorated playing career, what do you enjoy the most, and also what do you find the most frustrating about being on the sidelines now?
I enjoy seeing the boys expressing themselves and playing with a freedom and a confidence and a brand of football where they're showing what they're capable of, and sometimes you get results from that. Most of the time, if we do the right things, we will do. But seeing them showing a good attitude and a confidence and playing in a certain way, you know, gives me a lot of pride really when I see that, and how much we're improving. I feel, as a team, in a lot of ways, all over the pitch, as good as we've been since I've been here, to be honest, in terms of complete, or more, I'm not saying we're complete, a more complete team to what we've been. So that gives me a lot of encouragement in terms of, yeah, we can have so much impact from the sidelines, and to be honest, I don't want any more impact. I've had enough of that, so I don't have the feeling of I want to go and play, or I don't feel that frustration at all, because that's not my time now.
So, how would you rate your own development? And do you ever reflect on your own development as a coach since you started here?
Yeah, of course we reflect every single day of what every time I speak to the players, every time we mention something, is we look back in training sessions and games and what did we do well, what can we do better. So it's constant. I'm obviously a lot better manager now than I was when I first stepped through the door, because I've had 2 years of experience. That's experience is a great thing.
And finally, do you feel like this club has full-on Premier League potential, and you can get them there and fully establish them and keep them there for the long term?
You've chucked a few things in there at once, haven't you? We'll go step by. Excuse me. We'll go step by step first. Listen, I genuinely believe we're close. I think we're a good team, a very good team at this level, and we're very close. So I'm not concerned. I'm not worried. If anything, I'm hugely encouraged by what I've seen and what we're capable of doing. Listen, we'll take step by step the next run of games, and then after that we'll get to Christmas, and then there's still a marathon after Christmas to see where we want to get to, over the stages that you're talking about. So it's a long way ahead just yet.
Like you mentioned the finishing and that end product from a coach's perspective, is there much you can do to change that, you know, on the training ground, particularly when we're talking about players, you know, who clearly are capable, they've done it in the past? Is it more a kind of, you know, the mental side of it from a coach's point of view? Honestly, I got so much trust in the lads to find a way. I got no doubt in that whatsoever. It's disappointing when we don't win games, and that's for sure. But I think keep putting themselves in the position and keep the positivity. Don't get disappointed. You know, everyone in every club and player in the land misses opportunities or
plays well and maybe doesn't win and didn't get what they deserve. But it's keeping the positivity, to be honest. I'm hugely positive at the moment. I'm really encouraged by what's next and what we're capable of doing, and the players should be the same, and they are, from what I've seen in training, and looking forward to the game tomorrow, and hopefully the supporters are the same. And, you know, it's getting excited by what's possible. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, and I guess you mentioned just recently that they kind of wanting the players to express themselves, and how much you enjoy that. And I guess, does that make, you know, the consistency and the kind of level nature of your message to them important? Because I guess the opposite of that would potentially make them kind of go within themselves, and that would go against what you want.
Yeah, certainly try and be consistent. You know, I'm sure I get things right. I'm sure I get some things wrong. I understand that, I get that, but I think our messages is from my side of things to the boys are always the same, and always the same, trying to push them and improve them and probe them a little bit to be better. But certainly in principles it's the same, and I judge it on, you know, the attitude and the effort and the character of the boys, and then the general performance, and things at either end can happen, things we can improve on, things that'll turn in our favour that we can make happen a little bit better. But I can't fault the boys for what they're giving us at the moment, and they'll get the rewards, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, we've mentioned plenty of times this season the kind of depth of the squad, and the fact that the squad will be needed at various times, and I think, you know, kind of players coming in and out of form naturally, and that would be where the squad would be used as well. How far down the line do you think it goes before, you know, kind of changes for that reason are considered, and, you know, how do you balance that in terms of, you know, maybe taking someone out, but, you know, being wary of potentially that hitting them confidence-wise?
I don't think it's how far down the line before change. I think it's a week to week thing of and it's not changes. It's just it evolves week to week. You know, there's a team that needs picked every week, and there'll be changes within that. It's not given a certain individual or a certain team, if you like, it's opportunity, and then all of a sudden you cut that and you try. It's not that. It's constant a little bit. Everyone, the whole squad's important, and it's a constant thing. And whoever's played has done a lot of good things in the performance level, and we need to find that little bit extra. I'm sure we will, whoever plays.
Yeah, just George McCormack yesterday signed a new contract. I mean, seems a reward for what's been a really good start of the season. Yeah,
it was a natural thing for us. It was the right thing to do for us. I think George has done terrifically well since he come back. Spoke about it a fair bit, but come back pre-season, came to Portugal with us, and trained really well, and took his opportunity really in front of us, and every single day gives everything he possibly can, you know, and he's a dream to have around the group and to help, because he's desperate to learn, desperate to do better. So it's the natural thing for us to give him the new contract and then see what the next chapter brings.
Yeah, and in terms of that next chapter, I mean, the quotes from the contract announcement, you could hear kind of and see his desire and hunger to be better, and to kind of not rest there. You know, what is the next chapter? What is the next step for him?
I think he decides that in performances, like any player. You know, I think there's a plan. Sometimes it's on loan, sometimes it's around the group, sometimes it's playing 21, sometimes it's training with the first team for a period of time. It depends, and then it depends on the performance level, of course, in terms of training or what games he plays. So at the minute nothing can happen until January. So he's around certainly the first team squad, and then playing games for the 21s, and then we'll take the decision after that.
You seem pretty convinced that results will come, that things will turn in that sense.
Honestly, for me, and again, I know some people will be looking at this thinking I'm crazy because we haven't won enough games, but when I judge it for what's going into the performance, I think honestly believe we're doing a lot more higher level all round it, with the ball, without the ball, as a team, than we have done since I've been here, and I think we're in a really good place to do that, and which gives us a foundation to then take it to the next level as well. You know, it's so I'm genuinely really happy, really encouraged by a lot of those things. I think, you know, we've had spells when we've been dangerous, and we've been deadly in front of goal, and we've taken chances since I've been here without maybe creating loads of chances, but we've taken them. Maybe not defended or we've conceded too many shots, or we've not defended, being solid defensively, or whereas I think at the moment, you know, we're top in terms of shots or chances and expected goals, and we're top in terms of shots conceded on target in the league. So that's it's a good balance to have, which shows you there's a lot of good things in the game. Ultimately, goals are what decides it, but that's what's given me the total encouragement belief, because I know what the boys can do, and I know they can put that little bit of a cherry on the top to finish things off.
It's two years this week since you were appointed, and you mentioned there about being a complete team. Is this
I'm not saying we're complete yet, I'm just saying a little bit more towards being, there's a big difference.
Is this the most complete your team has been then since you arrived, and are you more confident than you've ever been before?
I am, certainly, yeah. I think the balance is there. I think all the elements to the performance. I think with the ball, without the ball, transitions always is when you play a certain form of or a certain style. Transitions are always something that you need to look after, and I think you can see that throughout the levels of football. The teams play a certain way and try and attack and commit so many bodies forward and play in a certain style. And transitions is something that needs managing. It's a tricky thing to manage. I think a lot of teams have found that. But certainly in the aspects when we assess it and we look at it, I do feel that we're moving in a really good direction. Yeah.
How has the club changed since you came in 2 years ago?
How's it changed? I don't know really. I think it's difficult to say. I think there's obviously expectation, which is a fantastic thing. I spoke to the players. Expectation, lads, is a privilege. To be in a position where people expect good things of you means that there's something there. And, it's a fantastic place to be in. And I think there's expectation, and rightly so. I expect, players expect, supporters expect. So that's a real positive thing to know what we're capable of doing, and that's certainly grown since I've been here. Of course, the expectation puts other things, and if you don't quite produce, people are expecting, and then all of a sudden it doesn't seem so good. But to have that expectation really gives us loads of belief and encouragement, because we know what we're capable of doing.
What did you make of the job Chris did? Obviously you replaced him. What did you make of the work?
I'll be honest, at the time I didn't watch an awful lot of it, and before I got here to know that and dissect, and it's totally not right for me to do that really. I think he's a proven manager, and he's really good, not at this level, but he's had really great success in the Premier League as well with teams. So I got a lot of respect for the work that he's done, and the different ways that he puts his teams out, and he can adapt and be really flexible. So but it wouldn't be right for me, and I don't know enough about it to comment on his work when he was here.
And just lastly from me, just asking about Riley, the 3 games he started this season, and I know obviously he's missed games for obvious reasons, injuries, and then you're managing him, but will this, that shows how important he is obviously, and then will this run now, he's had that international break out of the way, hopefully the injuries behind him, will this run of games hopefully give him a chance to get up to speed?
Yeah, I think Riley's like a number of players, in terms of that next stage of we got good players, and everyone wants to play, so it's and not all of them are going to play every game, so it's picking the right time and the right mix. Certainly that's my job, and but yeah, Riley's important for us, of course he is. He's proven that over a period of time, and there's still more to come from him, and I'm sure there's still more to come from him, and that'll prove over the next few games.
I imagine he's desperate, is he, for a run, because he's had the injury frustrations last year, obviously the start of this season as well.
The old boys are all desperate, yeah, and it's a great sign, because they're all desperate to play and they're all pushing, but they're all in a real positive way. Training's really good, it's competitive in a really healthy way, and the attitude's been fantastic, and certainly Riley's that, and yeah, the boys are in a good place.
Brilliant, thank you.
First off, Michael, congratulations, I think it's first, isn't it, 2 years?
Apparently, yeah, I've just been told, yeah. Yeah, it goes quick. It makes me feel old, really, in some ways, now being a manager for that long. But it's, I've loved it. It's gone so fast. And when you look back, actually, it feels like a long time ago, So, but yeah, I'm in such a privileged position, to be such a great club with a good group of players and supporters that I know I'm lucky to be here, and I've loved every minute of it.
It's quite a feat as well in today's modern game, isn't it? Where will the club be realistically, where can the club be in 2 years' time? Hopefully you're still here at the helm. Yeah,
I think we've got to be a bit sensible in terms of throwing too many one-liners around here, but I think it's excuse me, it's listen, we're striving to try and achieve things to try and get out of this division. I think there's no harm in saying that. I think that's pretty obvious, but in terms of you know, I said, like, even up till Christmas, what's it going to look like till Christmas? How well can we play? How many results can we pick up past Christmas? Then is a whole new chapter towards the end of the season, and finishing strong. You know, it's always better to finish strong, and we did last year. We want to do that again this year, and then see what the summer brings after that. If you know, and judge it by then. But in terms of predicting 2 years, you know, football's like. We were probably the best team in the league 2 weeks ago after West Brom, and now all of a sudden it's changed. So that's 1 week, 2 weeks, or whatever it is. So we're not getting carried away.
Was one of the factors in you coming here, obviously one of the first, your first job is obviously vital for any aspiring coach. One of the factors here, obviously Steve Gibson, who's been known in the past to give managers time, not really make hasty decisions, and just could you just give the fans a little bit of insight into your relationship with Mr. Gibson?
Yeah, I mean, he largely lets me get on with things and doesn't interfere. Well, he definitely doesn't interfere at all, you know, and supports me and gives me a lot of support, and in a good way. That he, as I said, the biggest thing, he doesn't interfere. He trusts me for what I do, and I thank him for a lot for that. You know, he supported us in terms of doing the best to bring players in and looking after players and trying to build a squad, and so yeah, it's really healthy, you know, and I know that I'm in a lucky position to have that.
Cool. And just last one from me. Obviously, managed 10 games now without goal. We saw last season just how good he can be. What can you and the lads do to get him through, or is it just something he's got to get on with himself? How can you support him? I'm sure that you'll have had experiences in the past in your playing career where strikers have been in and they've gone through the spell. Is there anything you and the players can do to help?
I think it's a natural thing, and it's not a one player. I think it's a group. You know, it's a team thing. It's a forward players kind of thing. If anything, it's certainly not an individual thing. And listen, I played with some incredible footballers in my time, and sometimes they went through games with not scoring goals, and they were number 9s, and it happens. They're human, you know. It's, as I said, that's part of football, but it doesn't mean you're doing things wrong or you're a poor player. It just means, you know, stay positive and trust yourself, and things will happen, and you make things happen. So it is what it is, you know. It's football, but we certainly get back to knowing, or get back to doing what I know the boys can do at their very top level.
You've talked quite a bit about your own experience staying. You mentioned Johnny Howson coming back into the squad. How much can he bring with his experience onto the pitch? Yeah, Johnny's hugely experienced, you know, and he's had different types of experiences even since he's been here, but throughout his career, and he's just got that influence and that composure and that presence around the group. That's really important, you know. We've got a lot of good people in the group, really good people, good characters, and again, I'm lucky for that, because they're a fantastic group, and Johnny's obviously the leader of that, and sets the tone and sets the example. Another player coming back from long-term out, Marcus Forss. You've mentioned before, he's quite a direct player, tends to hit the target. It could be very good timing for him to come back into things. Yeah, it's great to have Marcus back. I think he's been out. He's been out for a period of time. You know, he's not played a game since it was sometime in March time. So it's a long period out, and we got to manage that. So we need to look to get Marcus some minutes as well, and manage that in the right way. But certainly he's great to have him back. You know, he can score goals. He's a good finisher, Marcus. So it's fantastic to have back in the group. And I suppose the lesson now is all about being composed. Not just the final taking the chance, but the final pass, and then that will bring confidence, won't it, when we start to convert? Confidence is there, honestly. I don't think you can play the way we've played and dominate games so much and have so much success within the game. In terms of putting teams on the back foot and putting them under pressure, you can't play like that without belief and an inner belief and the confidence that the players are playing with. Of course, the end bit, there's no hiding it. We know we need to score more goals as a team, and it's not an individual thing. It's as a team, and we will do. There's no worries about that.